Hi everyone, if you're a Formula One fan, I think you might enjoy this video because I'm at the resting site of a racing legend. When it comes to sport, Brazil has an unrivaled passion. In a future video, I head to the coast in Santos and a museum dedicated to one of the country's football icons, Pelé. But this video is about not only a sport closer to my heart, but about another worldwide legend, three-time Formula One world champion, Ayrton Senna. I started following Formula One at the age of 9, way back in the early 90s, largely thanks to my dad, who worked as a self-employed car mechanic. And it's been one of my lifelong dreams to visit today's destinations. Senna was seen by some as ruthless and unforgiving, but as a result was able to achieve incredible success. Senna was and is admired in Brazil and indeed across the world. This is episode 2 of my Brazil series. Welcome to São Paulo.
Grid is clear, the lights go, and Senna sprints away, but Alain Prost takes the lead. It's happened. Alain Prost has taken the advantage. Senna is trying to go through on the inside, and it's happened immediately. This is amazing. Senna goes off at the first corner, but what has happened to Prost? He has gone off too. Well, that is amazing, but I fear absolutely predictable.
Yes, and that makes Ayrton Senna world champion this year.
Good morning everyone and welcome to another exciting day in the mega city of São Paulo, Brazil. Look what I've got. Am I Brazilian now? You know what, I had this the first time and I thought, what's so special about it? But now I'm addicted. I understand it's high in caffeine. I've had about 5 in the last 24 hours. Is that a good thing? Probably not. I'm near an area called Paraíso. I'm heading towards 3 locations in this video, which I'm hopefully going to be able to visit in their entirety. Our first stop of the day is Parque Ibirapuera, and this video, as I said in the intro, is all about Formula One and particularly the legend, the late great Ayrton Senna. Now of course sport is incredibly important to Brazilians, very passionate, a bit like that dog behind me, and of course everyone's heard of Pelé, right? The absolute football legend. But if you haven't heard of Ayrton Senna, I would cry. Have a look at this and you'll learn some more if you don't know about him. Ayrton Senna da Silva, he dropped his last name because that's a very common name in Brazil, so he went with Senna as his surname. He was a Formula One driver. He was world champion 88, 90 and 91, and he died in Italy in the San Marino Grand Prix at Imola, which is now the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, on May the 1st, 1994, which I can still remember watching on TV when I was 12 years old. And as you can see, he's one of the greatest sports idols from Brazil. The thing I wanted to see here is behind me, this awesome monument commemorating Senna. I think it's quite recent, 2017, and I read somewhere that it was somewhere else, but then it was moved here. And I think it looks really cool in terms of the shape of it. If you take a closer look, it kind of looks like the shape of a Formula One car, and if you look in the middle you can see what looks like a hand holding the Brazilian flag. You know, I could remember seeing so many Grand Prix, particularly the Brazilian Grand Prix in Interlagos, when Senna won and he would, you know, hold that flag aloft on his cooling down lap, you know, so it's very much reminiscent of that. I love this. Oi, bom dia. Hello. Now, if you're like me and you think the Brazilian flag is absolutely legendary, put yes in the comments, and also tell me your favourite memory of Senna. Of course, Senna wasn't the only Brazilian Formula One driver. When I see this flag, I picture Felipe Massa on the podium in 2008 when he lost the championship to Lewis Hamilton, yes, my fellow Brit, and also Rubens Barrichello, Mauricio Gugelmin. I'm really showing my age. He was around in the 80s. I got to admit, I am welling up a little bit. I knew this video would be an emotional one, and you'll understand why I'm a bit emotional as we go throughout this video. And it's not just about me, this is about any Brazilian on the face of the planet, on any other planet as well. Because this is just iconic. It's something that I've wanted to do my entire life, and I'm here today. Look at those dogs. You've already seen some wonderful quotes from Senna dotted around this monument, but this one I feel is the most affecting and meaningful for me. I think Senna's mindset is one which we should all aspire to, one with ruthlessness and tenacity. In adversity, some give up while others hit record. No matter what background you're from, where you're from, how you grew up, don't listen to people that discourage you from something that you want to do. People have discouraged me in the past, but you know what? I've adopted Senna's mindset. I've been ruthless, I've been tenacious, and I've got where I wanted to be. There's a sign back there saying no filming without authorization. Oops. Sorry, I didn't see it before I went in, but it's a good job I didn't put the drone up in the air. I was going to say it's good to be out of the central area of São Paulo. As much as I love it, it is a little bit madness, you know? I feel like coming out of the centre, it just gives a different picture, and I very much feel in the zone now. You know, that last video I did, I was completely like a rabbit in the headlights. Those dogs are mental, but now I feel much more comfortable, which is good. We've got to get on the metro now. Got a long way to go on the metros. Good job, I'm a metro geek. Here we are, Linea 5. Let's go. Okay, I'm going to Santa Amaro. I've noticed some of the lines have these doors, you know, to stop people jumping on the tracks. I've got to say, I really like the metro in São Paulo. It's clean, it's modern, the trains are wide, there's no trash anywhere, and yeah, it feels safe. I'm heading to the CPTM. I think it's just another train line, right? Do I have to put another ticket in? I don't know. The answer's no, you just walk straight through. Here we are, Estação Autodromo. Already looks very different. There's another train. Okay, we're heading to Autodromo Interlagos, and for any Formula 1 fans, you'll know that no Brazilian Grand Prix is a Brazilian Grand Prix without pouring rain. So I have Cocinha and a Kit Kat. Hopefully the rain will stop. And look at this outside. It's baby Senna. Seninho. That's amazing. His helmet, I keep using the word iconic, but it is just iconic. When you think of Formula 1, you think of Senna's yellow, green helmet. It's stunning. That is so cool. I'm going to take a photo. Okay, here goes nothing. The rain isn't too bad. It's only light, so I can do this. I'm heading up the hill towards the circuit. There's some nice street art over there. Oh, let's get out of the darkness now. I've been to many Formula 1 circuits before. Been lucky enough to visit many. Singapore, Monaco, Mexico City. The one in Mexico City is like a park recreation bike riding area for the rest of the year when the Formula 1 isn't happening, and you can walk around it. I believe that's not the case here. However, I have read there's like a perimeter park around the outside, and hopefully the rain will stop and I can get my drone up. Oh, hey, there's the park up there, I assume. Right, how do we get up there with those amigos? Now, despite hearing many stories over the years of Formula 1 drivers being carjacked around the time of the Formula 1 race, I have read that Interlagos, which by the way is called that because it's between two lakes, in case you hadn't realised, is actually quite upmarket. The cost of land here is supposedly quite high, largely due to the proximity to the circuit next door. I'm so excited! I can see Interlagos through the fence. I've been driving around this circuit on Formula One PC games since I was a teenager, and now I am here. It's like a natural bowl. Oh, amazing! Oh my god, I could see the Senna S, turn 1 and 2. Could this be any more exciting? But before I go in, I just wanted to highlight the fact that I've always felt that there's been a great connection between Brazil and the UK for many reasons. The first one being that this land was purchased by a British guy in the 1920s. He wanted to turn this area into like a luxury resort play area for people with a bit of dinero. But as a result of the Wall Street crash, that was a mouthful, that was all abandoned. And around the same time of that, there was a race being held on the streets. I don't know if it was here or elsewhere in the city. Obviously a street race is quite dangerous. I can't speak now. So as a result, that's how this circuit came into being, the Autódromo José Carlos Pache. Okay, English Formula One fans, Brazilian Formula One fans, everyone Formula One fans. For those of you that can't be here right now, I'm here for all of us. This is an absolute dream come true. The Senna S. That's the old circuit. So it used to be kind of like an oval, I guess. Like, it was inspired by Indianapolis in the US and Brooklands in England, which bizarrely I used to work right next door to, the Brooklyn circuit. But it was altered, I think, for the 1990 race. Yeah, so between I think 81 and 89, it was in Rio in Jacarepaguá. But it's been in Interlagos, Sao Paulo ever since then. Right, I've got my little camera out now. Let's try and get through the little hole. Wow, there is turn 1, the Senna S, obviously named after Senna after his death in 94. I was playing an old game yesterday and I crashed into Michael Schumacher at turn 1. I went on to win the race. P1. There's the pit straight. Absolutamente leggendario. Oh my god. I think I'm going to have an accident in my pants, unless I have done already, because I can get onto a grandstand opposite the starting grid. This is amazing. My mate Easy has also probably had a bit of an accident too. You know what? I might look like I'm auditioning for a wet t-shirt competition on Babe Station, but you know what? I don't care, because look where I am. It's the starting grid. I can't believe it. I've taken cover under here. I'm just thinking, I'm just imagining being a Brazilian Formula One fan in 1991 when Ayrton Senna was gesturing or gesticulating to end the race because of the weather, which was much as it is now. There's the pit lane down there. You've got a big Senna mural up there. Before we go, there's a close-up look at the Senna mural at the pit lane entrance. I'm guessing that's from 1991 because he's in McLaren overalls.
Ayrton Senna gets the 1 lap to go signal. The crowd is, of course, absolutely beside itself with worry and excitement, and the gap is down to 3.6 seconds. See, it's pouring with rain now. I look through and I see Senna waving. Look at him, he's saying, stop the race, stop the race. Yes, Ayrton Senna achieves his ambition to win the Brazilian Grand Prix, but another lap or two and I think he would not have done so.
I'm continuing to walk around this perimeter. Black clouds, I think they're heading that way because the wind is going that way and it's not as black in that direction. But this area is next to the circuit. I mean, it looks just like an average area, to be honest. I think a lot of people do think that everywhere in Brazil is a favela. That's not the case. I'm glad I could climax that point with some drone shots. I was channeling Senna. I didn't give up. Senna was the Rainmaster of driving, right? Am I the Rainmaster of drone flying? Apparently I am. Brilliant. Morumbi station. I'm out of breath. My mask is really suffocating me today. I'm on a bridge, walking in the rain, and Morumbi, as well as having trains that I was just on, seems to have a lot of construction going on, such as up there by the river, and over there a lot of tall buildings. I read that It's, you know, it's not a crappy area. It's one area supposedly that if you're an expat gringo, it's a possible area to stay. Do you have 1 minute for God? No. Okay, that's where we're headed. It's in quite a quiet, leafy area of the city, so I think it's quite appropriate for what we're hopefully about to see. Okay, soy aquí, Cementerio Morumbi. Disculpe, that was Espanol. I just had to speak Spanish to the security guard. Isn't it nice? It's kind of different, isn't it? There aren't any like headstones. There are just these things in the ground. Of course, Ayrton Senna's grave is here. Where it is another matter. So as I half expected, I have not been able to locate Senna's grave as yet, because this cemetery is absolutely massive, and quite possibly there are thousands, not possibly, probably, more than likely, thousands of graves here, and it's like looking for a needle in a haystack. On the subject of ruthlessness from earlier, Senna was ruthless, and for me back in the early 90s, being English, you know, he had a great rivalry with Nigel Mansell. Of course I was in Mansell's camp, but as I've grown up and looked back, I've realised that actually I have a lot of respect for Senna in his nature and his mindset, as I talked about before. You know, do we need to be ruthless in life? Do we need to trample over the opposition in order to get on? Maybe not trample, but we do need to have an element of ruthlessness, and it's something I have. You know, I have no qualms in doing whatever I need to do to get where I need to be. For me, as someone that was, you know, 10 years old, 11 years old at the time, he was really the first sort of idol in a way that I saw being like that. And I think if it wasn't for that and experiencing and seeing what he did with his competitors and the way he behaved, I wouldn't be the way I am now, if you know what I mean. It's quite deep. You might be thinking I'm talking bollocks, but I'm here and it's kind of brought it out of me. Nowadays, people aren't ruthless. It's almost frowned upon. Ruthlessness is a dirty word. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm old school and I'm not changing. You're an adult. No one's going to come and help you. No one's going to come and tell you what you need to do with your life. No one's going to save you. You're on your own. And that's why we need to be ruthless. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I certainly have. I feel like I've achieved a lifelong dream today. Don't forget to subscribe, because there are about 1 million more videos coming from Brazil. Lovely. Like, comment, share as well, and I will see you next time, hopefully somewhere where it is not pouring with rain. Brilliant. I'm gonna go home and dry off now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Catch you later even. Até logo.
This time I need to wait it out. Hold on tight, there's a storm standing in the eye.
Renata y Mari. I've just spent the last few hours walking around Paraisópolis, a favela. Hello, Angel. Yeah, there was a little bit of rough and tumble and being kind of held captive for a little while. Fundadora? See? Jiva? I have the foresight, the initiative, the expertise. If it wasn't for that, things would have been very different.